What is going on, guys? It is Lay the House or M here, and I'm sharing my sports betting and daily fantasy picks and plays for the first round of games of basketball in the Olympics. Now, there's a ton of games coming up on this Saturday and Sunday. Not all of the websites have posted the lines for them yet, but there are a bunch on Underdog Fantasy, which is my favorite place to play. If you don't play on Underdog Fantasy yet, but you want to give it a shot, sign up using the code LayTheHouseOrM, and they'll give you up to $250 in bonus cash when you sign up. Plus, they give you a bunch of free win promotions, just like the LeBron James and Nikola Jokic over 0.5 points, which I will be making plays for in this video. We can see here there are 6 basketball games on this weekend, 4 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. There's a ton of value on the board on Underdog Fantasy right now. Basically, we want to get on these lines early before the market adjusts and before the lines start to move. So in order to do that, we're going to head over to one of my favorite tools that I use over on Daily Grind Fantasy, dgfantasy.com. This is their DFS optimizer tool. It basically compares the line on Underdog Fantasy to all the other major sports books out there: FanDuel, BetOnline, the other Prizepicks, DraftKings, Caesars, Parlay Play. So it kind of shows you what the lines are across the board and shows you essentially which picks are on sale on Underdog Fantasy, which ones are at a big discount in order for you to take advantage of the value. So honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see all of these lines move at the top come tip off on Saturday morning. So we want to get on these now and we want to get on these fast. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you like this kind of content and you want to see me make more videos for you guys with these plays and my process, remember, subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video as well. Any engagement helps. And also join the Lay the House RM Discord server. It's completely free to join. This is what it looks like. I have some sections for betting education in here. I post all of my plays in there right when I make them. I even post the links and screenshots and everything. There's a section for big wins. It's a totally open community. You can pretty much make it whatever you want it to be. So it's a completely free server. It's linked in the description below and also in the pinned comment below. So now let's head over to Daily Grind Fantasy and see what we can have for the value for Underdog Fantasy on this slate this weekend. First thing that's standing out to me is this Bogdanovic under 7 rebounds and assists. The line on FanDuel is 6.5. So what this is telling me is that this line on Underdog Fantasy will probably move down to 6.5 at one point to be in line with the market. It kind of depends on what DraftKings ends up putting out there, probably on Friday at some point, because this game isn't until Sunday. But as of right now, Bogdanovic under 7 on the rebounds and assists is a pretty good line for us to get some value on. Next, we'll go into Josh Giddey here, 31.5 on the points, rebounds, and assists. It's 31.5 on FanDuel as well, but it's minus 122 odds. So the line on Underdog Fantasy is basically in line with FanDuel's right now. If you do a 3-pick, non-insured play on Underdog Fantasy, the line is minus 122 for each leg. So it's pretty much an equal value on FanDuel. But on BetOnline here, or is this Bovada? One of the two. I'm going to call it BetOnline for the time being. But on BetOnline, the line is 29.5. So you can see here that it's a 2-point difference. So if you want to middle this play, make a bet for 29.5 at plus 110 on this one site. Make a bet under 31.5 on Underdog Fantasy. It ends up somewhere in the middle. You win both your plays. But for Underdog, that 31.5 is a pretty tempting line. Not sure if I'm going to go there just yet, but it is a pretty solid play. The Shai Gilgeous-Alexander under 5.5 assists, pretty strong play as well. You see it's 4.5 on 3 of the books, 5.5 on Prizepicks, 5.5 on FanDuel. I wouldn't be surprised to see this drop down to 4.5 on Underdog Fantasy, FanDuel, and Prizepicks to get in line with the market. So I'm going to start my plays with that here. So we'll go Shai, and we'll go under 5.5 assists. This game is on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We're going to keep going down the list here. Schroeder, 27.5 on Underdog Fantasy, 26.5 on FanDuel. Really hard to compare 1-to-1, similar to the Bogdanovic situation. We have to kind of wait and see what comes out in the market for DraftKings, PrizePicks, and the other websites as well. But Dylan Brooks over 10.5 rebounds, very strong play, super strong play. It's 11.5 on DraftKings, 10.5 on FanDuel. Underdog Fantasy and FanDuel are just behind the market on this one, so we just want to take this play before it moves. So Dylan Brooks will go over 10.5 points, and that's 2 players from the same team. So I have 2 players from Shai, a player from Canada and another player from Canada, which is fine for basketball. It doesn't dock you for taking 2 players from the same team. And honestly, if you really wanted to, you can combine it with LeBron James and Jokic to give you a different play, and you can do your 3-pick non-insured entry just like that. But I'll save those for later. I do want to find one more player that is not on Canada to finish out this play. We could go with Jason Tatum, but I want to find someone on Saturday because I'd prefer to have them all playing on the same day on this one. So Willie Hernan Gomez on Spain, his points prop of over 16.5. You see on FanDuel, it's also 16.5, but it's minus 120. The 15.5 on DraftKings, or what is this, on Caesars or BetMGM, whatever it is minus 200. So it is juiced to the over. It's pretty much in line, but you see Prizepicks has 17 and Parlay Play also has 17. So this might actually tick up to 17 as the day goes on Friday and up until tip-off on Saturday. Maybe we could find another play that's pretty good. This Evan Fournier over 11.5 points also looks super good. This is probably another one of those where it's a really good value on the board, and I want to take advantage of it. So we're going to go with the Fournier over 11.5 points. We're going to combine it with the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dylan Brooks we already had. So we'll go Fournier over 11.5 points. I will make this play. It's a 6x payout, so I'll risk $25. If all three picks win, I'll win $150, which is $125 in profit. Sorry, I have to refresh the page really quick here because it's been sitting for a while. So we'll go $25 here, play to win $150. And then I always share my links in the Discord server. So the first thing I do right when I make my plays is I go into the Discord, I copy and paste the link here, I tag the Daily Fantasy group, and I also put a screenshot as well. So anyone with the Daily Fantasy role in my Discord server will get this play right away. They can place this right now, and they can get ahead of any line movement. If you're watching this video, you might not be able to jump on these lines as fast as we are. So maybe in the future I'll do some live streams of these so we can all jump on them together. But I kind of have to build up a good following for us to start doing live streams because I want to make sure that I'm not just talking to myself the entire time. So another play I like here, going back to the Canada lines. The Canada lines are pretty weak. This RJ Barrett over 4.5 rebounds, super strong play on Underdog Fantasy. This should be higher up on the list because of all the other options out there. It's minus 130 on DraftKings, 145, 135. You're getting a lot of value on Underdog Fantasy with RJ Barrett over 4.5 rebounds. So we'll go with him right there. And they play on Saturday at 3 o'clock as well, like I mentioned before. So I want to find another play on Saturday that fits with it. Giannis over 24.5 points. That line's not going to be there for long. It's going to go to 25.5 probably by Friday afternoon, if not Saturday morning. So we're just going to jump on that now with the RJ Barrett play. We'll go Giannis over 24.5 points. They're against each other, so going with two overs is usually good in the same game. And if you're and in those scenarios, you're kind of just hoping for a very fast-paced game and that there's a lot of shots being put up. You know, Barrett gets over on the rebounds, Giannis gets over on the points. Obviously, a super high-usage player. The Papagiannis under 10 points, it's okay play, not like amazing or anything. Shai, points, rebounds, and assists under 32.5. It's solid. Honestly, I could go double dipping on one of these plays that I had before. You know, the Shai and the assist is pretty solid because you know that line's going to move. And if you want, you can try to get a middle on it. So we might go there. Or I can go with the Dylan Brooks over on the points again. I don't mind going, two plays on the same player for some of my props. And the great thing about this, if one of them loses and I still have the other options yet to play, well, then you can just make a new slip if those lines are still there and try to take advantage of the value any way you can. So I'm actually going to add the Dylan Brooks points, the over on the points in this one, because we're just going to stick with the same game, go with some hires on it, go all overs. I know you guys love going with the overs. So we'll go with Brooks over 10.5 points. Confirm it. I'll copy the link. Just going to go post it in the Discord server if you guys don't mind me doing that real quick. Okay. And now let's see if there's anything else we want to play. I definitely want to get you a third play before this video is done. Probably one for Sunday. And I also want to use the LeBron and Jokic. I don't know. You can only choose one. So we're just going to go with LeBron on this one here. And see if we could find some plays for Sunday that are good for us. So scrolling down here, Tatum. It's tough to compare 1-to-1. The Bogdanovich, 20.5 points and assists, the under there, right here on this line. It's 18.5 on, looks like, BetMGM. But, I don't know. It's probably going to settle somewhere in the middle here. One of these two is right. I'm not sure which one yet. So we're going to hold off on it for now. Jokic, under 29.5 points and rebounds. That's the same scenario. It's probably going to end up somewhere in the middle between the 30.5 and the 27.5 when the line settles. But it's still too far out to kind of make the play. Carlick Jones over 1.5 3-pointers made. That's actually a pretty good play. Minus 120 on FanDuel, minus 145 on BetMGM, and minus 130 on either Bovada or BetOnline or whatever it might be. So that's a pretty solid play to combine with the LeBron prop. You could always combine it with one of the Saturday plays that I mentioned before, but like I said, I like to keep things same day. Or if you want to try to do it with another sport as well, like an esports play or baseball or whatever it might be, like feel free to do it. I'm just gonna do a 2-pick entry with it, simply because I just want the free win. It's not gonna be a lot of cash. I got to risk like $10 on it. Sometimes they let us risk 50 on it, but it just kind of depends. It doesn't really, there's not much I can control with that. Just scrolling down the list here, like LeBron over on the points is pretty good. So if you want, you can go LeBron over 15 points and then go with the Jokic free win, which is probably not a bad play. I think I'm actually going to go there because I like having players from the same game just because it's more fun that way. So let's see what they let me do. Will they let me do 50 on it? 10. That's what I figured. All right, so we'll just do $10 to win $30 here. LeBron and Jokic on the free win. And then I'll share it. Head to the Discord, post it in there for you guys to see. And that's going to wrap up my first few plays on the Olympics and the NBA this coming Saturday and Sunday. We'll head over to my live. You'll probably see my results of my losing plays tonight because I was one off on one of them. I was 2 off on this one, actually. So to recap, these are my plays for this weekend so far. Probably will post another maybe 2 or 3 more. As the lines keep coming out, we're going to start finding more and more value for these games. And especially once it gets in the full swing and the rotations get settled, there's going to be so much more value out there. So first play that we made on this video was Evan Fournier, higher than 11.5 points. Dylan Brooks, higher than 10.5 points. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, lower than 5.5 assists. Next, we went with the Brooks higher than 10.5 points again. If you want, you could use any of these other 2 players, Fournier or Shai, and replace it with Brooks. It's just a personal preference, really. RJ Barrett, higher than 4.5 rebounds, and Giannis, higher than 24.5 points. And then I am using my Nikola Jokic, higher than 0.5 free win prop with LeBron James, higher than 15 points. I hope he doesn't land on 15 and that this goes to waste, but, that's just the way it goes sometimes. So if you like this video, like I mentioned before, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, comment what your favorite bet is for this weekend in the Summer Olympics in the first round of these games. I'm always interested to see what everyone else is playing, and also join the Discord server. It's completely free to join. We have a really good community over there. I post a ton of picks daily. I have 2 other people in there who post plays for free for everybody to tail as well, so I appreciate the support. Best of luck on your plays this weekend, and thanks for watching.